So as a quick recap, we're just going to go through the secrets so far. Secret number 1, change your mindset or nothing will change. Secret number 2, learn to have no immunity to the word no. And we're going to get into the third secret, activate that mouthpiece. All right, so secret number 3 is learn how to tell your story. Now, Crass, learn how to tell a story. Learn how to tell my story. Why does that matter? It's everything. It's everything. Your story. All right. You might not think you have a story. You might not have a story that you have in mind. You might not feel that you've struggled. You might not feel that, you have anything to tell yet, but you do. And the faster you're able to tell that story, the faster your artist is going to be able to connect with you. The number 1 marketing mistake to avoid, all right, in all your marketing, okay, you're a producer, you market your beats, you want to have other artists rapping on your beats, you want to have other artists like trying to buy your beats. Well, listen, the number 1 marketing mistake to avoid is being boring. All right, I'll say it again, the number 1 marketing mistake to avoid is being boring. There's nothing worse than being boring in your marketing. Whatever you do, try to add some level of entertainment to it. If you haven't noticed, some of the wackest, what you would consider wackest people in general or whatever that are on, a lot of people that, producers, artists, across the board, you might think they don't have any talent, and that may be true. What they've mastered is learning how not to be boring, and that's how they're reaching people. A lot of producers don't really have a lot of personality, and that's probably the reason why most producers fail. I haven't even really honed in on that. The way I look at it is it's all marketing. The number 1 marketing mistake to avoid is being boring. You got to have the ability to be entertaining. Tap into that. And how do you do that? You tell a story. That's why you have to learn to tell your story. Storytelling is one of the oldest traditions in our history. Since you were a baby, you were told stories. And as soon as somebody says, once upon a time there was this, and they already got your attention. And the thing is, you need attention, okay? No artist is going to buy your beats if you don't have their attention first. So get the word out. Learn how to tell your story and don't be boring. So the next thing we're going to cover is a secret to your story. How do you tell your story? There's a few elements that go along with that, and which will make it a lot easier, because I know you might be saying, well, Crass, I don't have a story. Like, nothing really happened to me that is something that, Netflix is going to want to make a movie about, or my story's boring, or, you might be saying some of that or all of it. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is everybody has a story. It's just a matter of knowing how to tell the story. Do you have lessons that you learned in life? Did you make mistakes in life? Of course you did. What were they? What did you learn? Do you have flaws? Do you stutter? Do you not necessarily speak as well as you want to? Are you shy? Did you overcome things? Did you mess up early in life, get arrested or drop out, or these things? Like, talk about them, because that's how other people relate to you, and that's what makes you real. That's what makes people understand who you are. Are you a leader? And if so, leader to whom? Do you before and after? Did you overcome something and now you're this different person? Whatever it is, talk about that in your story. What about your past connects with your music and your beats? Talk about that. That's what makes you stand out. That's what makes you unique. And that's what you're going to want to talk about in your story. That's the secret to telling your story. Another great way to get the word out and learn how to tell your story is self-branding. Self-branding is the key. Never before in life have you been able to have an opportunity like you have right now as a producer to brand yourself, to let people know, like, man, this is what I do. This is who I am. There's enough people out there. There's enough producers out there who've got the game or their little niche, like they're on top. But you don't have to worry about those people like we said earlier. It's all about you. You have a direct opportunity to form a relationship with the artist. Do vlogs, talk about your story and talk about like what you're getting into next. Talk about the beats that you're doing. Talk about the sound that you have. Self-branding is the key. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world next to Google. It's only going to keep increasing. Make videos of yourself. Make videos just walking around doing what you do with your homies or by yourself or whatever that makes you unique. Brand yourself. Let people see you, talk to you, feel you. Like, who are you? People connect with people. The artists are going to be connected to you because of the fact that they're going to connect with you. Not a logo, not just like some words. They need not just a beat. If they don't know who you are behind the beat, they're not going to connect with your music the way they'll be able to once you start branding yourself. Self-branding is the key. Get the word out, brand yourself. And listen, the next thing we're going to cover is the only way to get dope at all this marketing stuff and self-branding and telling your story and being entertaining is being willing to suck at first, being willing to be whack, being willing to not do so good, not be so good at these things that I just mentioned. Fail, make mistakes. Failing is the best because it allows you to have the opportunity to learn from what you just did, learn from your mistakes. A lot of producers out there are caught up in perfection. They think that, I know some beats, man, I know some producers that won't really ever put out anything because they need it to be perfect. So I guess they think there's just like some gateway channel going directly to the masses that once they submit that one beat, it's just gonna totally transform their whole life forever. And they're willing to wait 3, 4, 5 years for it. And in the meantime, they're just perfecting. But listen, it doesn't work like that. All these people that you've seen make it, you're just seeing their most recent work. Their whole body of work that you've never heard about before was what built them up to this point. And they didn't drop music every now and then. They drop music prolifically, religiously, every day, every week, every month, consistently. 4, 5, 6, 7 beat tapes, mixtapes, all that stuff. You gotta put yourself out there, be willing to be whack at first until you're dope. That goes back to ego. These things are all connected. Get the word out. Learn how to tell your story. Don't be boring. Have like substance to your story. Put substance in your story. Brand yourself. And the only way to get dope is to suck at first. Failing is the best teacher for you. You learn what to do and what not to do by failing. Try not to be too perfect. Try not to be too polished because you won't put nothing out. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to actually put out a lot. I want people to get used to you. The more you fail, the more other people can see that you're trying, you're putting forth, and you're real. And people actually gravitate to that. You might wonder why this whole reality movement has taken over, where people don't really have to do much. There's no like music videos too much that are all that scripted. There's a combination, there's a mix these days. People like what's authentic. Make sure that you don't run away from being whack or just not perfect. You don't want to be too polished. Not in this game. People see through that and they can't connect with that. Make sure that you fail and fail fast, but you fail forward. So we're still in this get the word out module. Okay, so the next secret is set up multiple producer marketing systems. Well, what do you mean, Crash, by multiple producer marketing systems? All wealth is based on systems. A system is something that you can do religiously over and over and over again and still have the same outcome. A system is something that operates on its own. A system is something that you don't have to be around for it to work. Man, see, look, it's a PayPal notification. That's the way you want to have it. You want to have it so like people are like buying your beats all the time, no matter what you're doing. This ain't orchestrated or nothing like that. That's a great example of having a producer marketing system. A system is something that you can put in place that operates without you, that operates you needing to be there. Just like that person just purchased, that made that purchase without me being there. I'm focusing in on you. I don't have to be there, like find out which beat they need, have them listen to a couple. I have all that stuff, so it's automatic. I'm going to show you how to do it. The first thing is intake, okay? Instagram, all right? Everybody has Instagram. Everybody posts to Instagram. It's about how you use Instagram. You can use Instagram to let people hear your beats and stuff. Do you lead them anywhere after you post something? If you let them hear a beat, you can say, hey, I got fire. Do you tell them to DM you? Well, if you do that, okay, I understand. If you're nowhere yet and you haven't even done that, okay, yes, do that. If you've been doing this for a while or just for long enough where you're like, damn, now I need to really see some results, and you're still telling people to DM you, you got to think about it. When you get hot and you're going to have a whole bunch of people are you going to want to like sit through and read 50 DMs or even 20? The beginners out there, are you going to even really want to read 5 DMs? Well, yeah, when you first start, but once this becomes routine, once you get into your producer business and like, you starting to get like people paying attention to you, you're not going to want to have to DM each and every single person. You're going to want to have a system in place where you say something at the end of your post, go to my website if you want to hear more, or link in bio, and in your bio you send them to a certain page where you can collect their email, and I'll show you how to do that. You collect their email so that it's automated, all right? It's not like you have to sit there and DM the person and send the beat yourself. It's a system that you set up that runs on its own. System is something that operates on its own. So you have to set up multiple producer marketing systems. So Instagram is one of them, all right? Facebook ads, that's another one. You pay Facebook to post your ad. I'll have ad templates in here for you, but you pay Facebook to post your ad. They show it to the audience that you define. So you want to define who your target artist is, all right? Where do they live? Do you want to advertise to people just in your local area? Do you want to advertise to people like in the major markets like New York, California, Atlanta? And then what do you want to say in your advertisement? Do you want to just say buy my beats? Well, no, because they don't know about you, all right? So that's the mistake most people make when they do a Facebook ad. They just say buy my beats and they wonder why they haven't gotten any beat sales. Well, people don't know you from Adam. They have to first connect with you, know about your story. Of course, they're going to get to the music, but what's important is the fact that they know who you are. They connect with you. So your Facebook ad should give them value. It should give them something of value. Maybe it will give them like a beat or two for free. Maybe it will do something like maybe you can put together a rap contest or a freestyle battle contest where you say, here, freestyle over this beat, and download this beat, and I'm gonna give $50 to the artist that has the hardest freestyle over my beat. And then you'll get a lot of artists that want to win that $50, and by doing so you're gonna get their email, capture their information, and they're gonna be tuned into you. They're gonna want to know who you are now. You've turned the tables on them, and that's what you can do with the Facebook ad. You could run it for as low as $25. Now if you ain't got 25, I know you do actually, because you've invested in getting this knowledge. So yeah, you can spend $100 a week, $400 a month, getting a lot of artists to sign up, to your list, and then you're sending them beats, but there's a certain way you do it. It's not just buy my beat. You give them value. You have to give them some type of something else, something unique that isn't what everybody else is giving them. The next element of this is a website. I mean, you have to have a website. A website is imperative. This is how you bring people to your own universe, your own ecosystem, your own world, having your own website. And yes, it's good that you have things like BeatStars and the Beat Player and the profile, or Airbit and the Beat Player and the profile, but you got to understand you're right next to so many other producers if you only have these things. Like even SoundCloud, I mean, have all these things in place, but you still need your own website, okay? If you're just in the same zone as all these other producers, then what's going to stop that artist from, this dude got hot beats, but if he got hot beats and this is a website that has thousands of producers on it, chances are there's going to be some other producers with some hot beats too. You don't want to bring artists to their world. I mean, yeah, you have your own profile page, but you're still at the end of the day bringing them to their world, improving and boosting up their brand. You want to boost up your brand. You want to bring artists to a page, to a website that's only yours, okay? That's only yours. So that's imperative, because a lot of producers do it so that they are just using these tools, and that's cool to start. But if you want to get serious about this, if you want an artist to really invest 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 a month into you, 1,000, 1,500, 5,000 for a beat, they got to see that you're serious. You know what I'm saying? And I know you can understand that. The next important point to cover is email marketing. This is another system. Now, all these things that we talked about are systems. You put your Instagram up there, you have your link in bio, you send them to a page, you collect their email, they send it sends an email back to them. That's an automated system. It operates on its own. Facebook ads, you put the money in, you set up the ad, you target the area, you let the ads run, you go do what you got to do, set it up so it brings them back even to that same page we talked about. That's another system. It runs on its own once you set it up. Your website, of course, this is going to facilitate all those things. It runs on a system. Once you set it up, that's it. You don't have to do a lot of manual work after that. And then BeatStars, the same thing, or Airbit, the same thing. Once you set up your beat profile, you set it up in such a way, you either have an offer or you have maybe you might have 2 for 1. You have certain things that once you put it into place, you can just leave it, upload your beat so that as soon as they buy, they receive the beat. You don't have to do a lot of fumbling around and sending things manual, because what happens is that once you start popping, once you get important, once you start getting that buzz, you're going to be doing so much manual labor. Now, not only do you have to set up the systems, not only do you have to make the beats, not only do you have to market yourself and do all that, but you also have to deliver the product. You don't want to do that. So this is a big secret for you. You want to set up a system that will deliver the product for you. And this is done through automation. This is done through setting it up in such a way that you're not involved. And we'll go deeper into that, but these are the core elements right here. Yeah, and with your email marketing, one thing you want to do is make sure that, again, it's the same principle. You want to be entertaining. You don't want to just send like, buy my beats. Nah, that's not going to be entertaining enough. You want to make sure that you have some value, that you give them something, like you give them something to, like a promotion, or not just a promotion, like maybe a contest, a freestyle contest. You might send them something that'll help them out, help them get their music out, like maybe about something about TuneCore. A lot of people don't even know the basics of how to upload their music to like a streaming channel. A lot of artists don't really know that much about getting in the game. The more you're able to help them like get on these different platforms that'll have their music streamed, the more you can give them insight about the music industry, the more you can give them insight about how to make it. Some rappers, artists don't know how to book their own shows. Some artists don't know how to find a manager. These are all things that you can provide to them. As simple as like doing some research and looking these things up and then putting it together, putting it together like in an ebook, putting it together in something that they'll have value, putting it together in something that will be valuable to them. Therefore, they're gonna feel like a closer affinity to you because you've helped them out. The bottom line is that you want to help people out. Chances are you finding me, like I've probably helped you out in some way, whether it was a tutorial, whether I taught you like how to make better beats, whether I taught you how to mix, whether I taught you how to like do marketing and get the word out. Of course, not this in depth, because I've never done a course that was this in depth before. A lot of the reason why I'm successful at doing beats and like also showing other people how to do beats is because I give. You want to give value first. For the artists that I sell beats to and that are on my list and all that stuff, I help them. If they don't know about TuneCore, they don't know about really basic things sometimes. Assume that the artists that want your beats know nothing about the industry, and assume that they don't know anything about getting themselves on. So you can help them, and the way you help them and you tell your story and all that, it comes together as value. All that comes together is like, wow, this is a real producer who wants to help me out, and he has hot beats, and he has an easy way for me to buy these beats. So you see all the way these things stack on top of each other? I'm showing you this so you can go out and do the same thing to the artists that are going to be attracted to your music, to your beats, so that you can develop your own herd, your own gathering, your own group of artists.